How do you think Brodie Croft looked today?
Thought he looked like Brodie Croft, but in a better coloured jersey.
Leeds have won back-to-back rugby league titles. The golden generation finally has its golden fleece. No England game, it seems, is complete without a Ryan Hall try. Jamie Peacock.
Kevin Sinfield.
Rob Burrow.
Jamie Jones Buchanan for Leeds. It's one of the most popular beards in rugby league.
There aren't many in Super League that can do that.
We just want to be a great friend, and if we can all try and be a bit of a better friend from time to time, I think we have a bit of a better place to live in.
The Lot Pod is kindly sponsored by Fast Signs. Fast Signs are an established family-run business who've been providing businesses around Leeds and West Yorkshire with effective signs and graphics for almost 30 years. Fast Signs are passionate about helping customers make a statement with signs that are eye-catching, effective and delivered fast.
Okay, we are recording.
Did you hear me shouting at you? You were driving home?
Yeah, I heard you.
I thought, does he know that's me?
Yeah, I could see your bald head.
Could you?
I turned
I saw
around.
your dad.
No, it was my uncle, actually.
Was it your uncle?
Yeah, my dad wasn't here. I don't know why I bought a season ticket, to be honest.
This is the Brad Arthur cutting it, mate. That's what this is.
This is it, yeah. Farmer Arthur. We're here.
You realise you got it wrong. It should be Arthur from the TV series Arthur.
Why? Because someone said to me it should be King Arthur, but there's always a King Arthur, isn't there? What did you think? What would be the link, though? I got me Farmer Arthur because we're all his sheep.
Hey, what a wonderful time.
It's a great theme tune. It's time to learn and play and get along with each other. Listen to Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Lot Pod.
You can't stop.
The Leeds Rhinos. Keep it in, Rhys. I'm telling you, keep it in. They'll have no idea what we're laughing at. Welcome to the Lot Pod, the Leeds Rhinos Lot 17-8 podcast, kindly sponsored by Fast Signs. Match review panel time. Leeds Rhinos versus Hull KR. Joining me as always, my left-hand man to me, right hand as you're watching it. Co-host, Statman Rhys, how are you?
Yeah, good. Glad to be back in the studio finally. It's been a while, and we've not been together for
Since
a while.
the mailbag.
Yeah.
That's the last time we was in here and we were together. I distinctly remember because when I snogged you that evening, you had really bad garlic breath. Because you had
that's how I got hemorrhoids, actually.
That's how.
Yeah.
You told us off for mentioning that.
Yeah. That's how I got it, and then that's why you went for your hair transplant in Turkey after
and
that.
that's where I got you, but it wasn't on my head. So where was the hair transplant? Leave a comment below. So you're well. You're back. We're back, and so is Phil. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Welcome
glad
back,
to
mate.
be back in the studio again.
You love this place.
Doesn't seem so long ago that was here.
And here we are.
Here we are yet
Once
again.
more. Leeds Rhinos versus Hull KR. Let's go straight into it, boys. In true Lot Pod fashion with the positives. I've got two. I know that one of yours is exactly the same. Yours probably going to be the same.
You know what? I've been that busy today. I've completely forgotten what the positives were.
It's the weather.
So, on the weather, yeah, beautiful, amazing, positive. They didn't need the fire.
No, we didn't.
I was
In
already
the south stand.
sweating my ass off in that south stand, and then they put the fire on. I'm going, this is not what I need.
Not what we need. No.
See,
Cooking it.
Texting Laurie going, it's a good job you're not in this stand, mate.
factor 50.
I'm right at the very, very back, last row of the south in the seats, and I could still feel it. My kids did enjoy it though. I've got the weather, and I've got Matt Frolics. I thought he played really well once more. Any other positives, gents?
I thought the introduction that James Donaldson got was nice when he came on the pitch. I think it showed how respected Dono is.
Yeah, I didn't expect that, to be honest.
I wasn't quite expecting him to get quite a rousing ovation, to be fair, but it was nice for Dono.
I think he's just like resilient, and you can depend on him, can't you? You know what you're getting with him. And yeah, we're nice for fans to.
Effort marker,
but he puts effort in, doesn't he? Which is the bare minimum what we want in it, really.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any other positives. I feel like I had another one somewhere, but anyway, didn't have to.
We'll never know.
Didn't have to go back to Hull.
We'll never know. I felt we started the game really well. We kind of spoke off air, me and Phil. The whole first half as a whole was a really big improvement. Did you feel that, Rhys? That it was
a good game of rugby. I remember at half time going, I'm actually quite enjoying watching a game of rugby league at Headingley, and I can't really remember many times in the last couple of years where I've sat in the stadium going, I've actually watched a good contest here, like good contest, intensity from both sides. Good, we had our phase in the first 10-15 minutes, they came back towards the end, we held out. It was good rugby, and I tried not to overreact within 5 minutes, but I did.
Yes, you do.
But straight away, I felt...
bloody liar.
You got Eddy's disease.
Straight away, you could see...
got that infliction, that's why I brought him in.
You could see a difference in the intensity straight away. Like, the first defensive set, we were off the line straight away. I went, right, good. I'm happy. Like, I was happy straight away. First set, off the line. In the first sort of bounce back of the first sets on either team, we were making more metres, and they were finishing their sets and on about the 40, 50 metre line in their own half, and they're going... In previous iterations in the season, they'd already been down the 20. I don't know.
All right, Blackadder.
They'd been down by the 20 metre line, so you could see a difference straight away in that intensity and how we were playing, and straight away in the first half.
What did you think of our first half of our start, Phil?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Like I see, a good game of rugby, competing with each other. We had that intensity in defence, where we've been lacking in weeks before. You could see that he'd obviously tried to do work on attack as well. It didn't quite click, it was a little bit clunky. But yeah, they had his defence were a lot better. And, to go in at 6-0 at half time, it was, I just like to see us a little bit more on attack, really. But as defence, he'd certainly worked on that through a week. You could
the
tell.
only thing I was gutted with in the first half was Martin missing the penalty.
Martin missed the penalty, and there was. I need to watch the game back, and I haven't found a full.
It's too late. You're reviewing it. It's too late.
There is definitely.
Don't watch it back after the review.
Oh no, I am adamant and absolutely adamant that Hiku punched Newman in the head.
So,
on the
who
floor.
said that as well? With Chris.
Yeah.
Producer Chris agrees with you.
I am absolutely adamant. That's why if you about 15,
I don't recall it.
15, 20 minutes in, if you remember, there's a break in play, and there was a group of fans towards the south stand that were kicking off because we were all right in line with it. And it looked damn sight where we were that Hiku had punched Newman whilst he were lying on the floor. Well, I might be completely wrong. I've not had a chance to go through the game again. But I were incensed when I didn't need.
Was it right on yours as you were?
Yeah, about the 30, 40 metre line. Must have been about 15 minutes in. So when I watched the game back, I'm either going to look a right loser, mentioning and blaming they should have been sent off, or I'm absolutely right. But something definitely happened because Newman wasn't happy about it either.
He's not often happy about much stuff recently, is it?
But yeah, no, I was disappointed we went for the 2 points actually.
No, I was asking for it.
Well,
about you? Yeah,
I'd like to just run it just before half time. I could get it going in at 8-0 at half time. You think that would have made such a big difference though?
I mean, psychologically for a team that's been losing or not been playing well,
you've got that little bit of more breathing space, I think.
But
that's what I was thinking.
If you've watched that footage of Brad Arthur when he's coach of the Eels, and I can't remember if it's a playoff game or
it's a semi-final
against
just running them.
They take the 2 points, and I can't remember if they miss it or not, but he's fuming.
No,
it's like we're building pressure, we're in the right areas, it's taking more time off the clock. You can force another set of 6.
I think they got someone binned as well, didn't they?
Yeah, and it was just like
in that game. I'm sure they got someone binned.
I was there thinking
2019
I had that
semi-final.
moment from that video in my head, and I didn't feel like we were building massive pressure at that point, but I would have thought that. I don't know. I was a bit disappointed.
But you see, there were times in the second half with that where we had penalties and we could have gone for goal and we didn't. We run the ball instead.
Well, we also threw it into
touch as well. Do you know what I mean? So, what I'm trying to get at is that I get it. We're going into break. And that's why I think is it the right decision? Go for goal, or do you run and build a bit of pressure? Because then later on in game, you've got the same situation, yet you make the complete opposite decision for no benefit.
I think if you're 39th minute left on the clock, you've not got time for a full set. Definitely go for the 2. I thought in that moment, I just thought I wanted to see us have a good go at the line. Because that was whilst we're saying it was far better, the intensity was far better in that first half.
Like I said, should have just had another play line, another set.
We didn't quite see that creativity, and I was kind of hoping that we had been given give ourselves another opportunity because we actually were kicking it further on a penalty for a change as well. Not just that was a penalty.
My mate,
we did one penalty kick goal that went for about 30 metres.
My mate who stands with me, Danny, I love mentioning this because every week when we kick for touch or whatever, he does his nutting. It goes for like 10 metres on, it goes backwards, and he's shouting and bawling and everything. It's ace just to watch him do it. So he'd have been proud yesterday finding some touch.
There was only one that went for 30 metres, but
that's for you, Danny. Just for you, Danny. So that's the first half. That's all the positives. That's everything gone. On to the second half, and the biggest talking point of the whole game is Lachie Miller's performance. I feel kind of summed up with the dropped catch, which I was incensed with rage. I took my two very young children with me, and I forgot in that moment that they were next to me. Yeah, cover your ears, George. And I'm calling Lachie Miller, cover your ears, George, a fucking moron for dropping that, because there's no one near him.
No. Do you know what I don't get is why he jumps he jumps for the ball and there's nobody there. He's not competing with anybody.
It's one of it's simple fullback play. There's no one near him. Just catch the ball, mate.
So both the instances where we scored tries was because one, the kick was great and the chase was great, and there was pressure.
Yeah.
That instance, he had a free catch at the ball, didn't he? And it is just criminal. It's those simple errors that kill us.
And I think that's Lachie Miller in general, though. And like I said, I know we said JJB went in on him, and I think they touched on it in commentary afterwards as well when I watch it, is that a week before about that he's only played so many Super League games, hasn't he? You know,
he's only played so many rugby league
games, and you just think that's where his inexperience comes, because he always looks to be that threat, and he always looks to get on outside of players and give that killer pass. Like I said, throwing it into touch on first play or whatever, that's criminal. When we all know as rugby league fans and players or whatever, build that pressure. You're in good ball area, you want to set a good attack up, and he wants to give that killer pass because he thinks there's more space there, because he still thinks he's playing sevens or nines or tens or whatever. But that's just his inexperience for me. But yeah, I just don't get why he's jumping for the ball when he's not competing with anybody.
Yeah,
he had all the time in the world just to catch it.
And there is a grievance of this, because they definitely flopped on him and put him back over the line. So
they did,
but he shouldn't have put himself in that position in the first place.
No, you're right.
Completely open. Yeah. Just swallow the ball up and just make the yardage, and we're on our way.
Teams like I think apart from the last try, their free tries came from our mistakes.
From errors.
Again,
it's killing us. And then, like I said, the first tackle of a clean set, 30 Hulk 30 metre mark.
Yeah, we just got into
we'll decide again at that point.
And he just decides he's going to throw it straight into North Stand. And you think
I was just talking to my cousin at the time as well, and he was saying to me, he really likes everybody because it swings momentum. Can it swing momentum like that? And the momentum just swung in our way. I think they'd had a knock on or something, and then we got a penalty, and they're going, it's turning here, we're turning the screw, and then all of a sudden,
it's like he just has a big head explosion. He thinks he's got to, he's great. It is just like
I think my friend mentioned it, or someone on the WhatsApp group, but they mentioned because he'd done the horrendous error for the cat, he was really forced to play because it happened quite quickly, didn't it? Was this first set we had back off?
We got down there. I think it was from a penalty, didn't we?
Down there when he tried to run round.
It was really soon, between the two instances.
He wasn't too far, but equally, then I think after one of those occasions, he caught the ball, he beat 3 people, and he ran about 40 metres, and we made about. So it's there, like. But the moment we're getting rough with this move, and I don't want the rough anymore. We can see
he's a bit more smooth.
He just needs to be a bit.
Brad out especially.
But yeah, so there's moments with him I see like I do like him, and that's why I flip between it. But there were killer errors yesterday.
But then
he doesn't seem to understand that's what win or loses your games in rugby league.
Absolutely.
He makes them errors on. I get that he's trying to chase it and make up for a past mistake, but if he'd just been a little bit calmer and understanding what his actual job was. In terms of that, making that clean catch, he didn't have to do anything but just catch the ball, take a tackle, and let's get possession of ball. And then, like again, when he's thrown it into touch, again, it's knowing when he's overplaying, and he don't have to throw that pass. He just got to take his tackle. We're still in possession, and we keep building that pressure from where we had. That's the bit of rugby league I don't think he quite gets yet.
He's gonna have to learn it. Someone's gonna have to teach him it. And then I've got here the second tackle of another set around a similar 30 metre mark, and he got him thrown into the North Stand, got pushed into touch.
I think he felt like he had the beating on the outside of one of the players, which he had done. But then I think I remember the winger or the centre came in.
They kept him up quite well in fairness.
It was good defensive play, but he couldn't get to the ground quick enough.
But again, it's that naivety though of looking down that short side.
Second tackle
after you've dropped the catch. chucked the ball into the north stand, then you get your centre.
I mean, does he know we play tackles in rugby league? Because he doesn't see. You only get 6 of them. It just seems like he wants to.
And there were just 3 small errors, really, bless him. Like I do feel for him.
I know he did score from that mental kick. On
I've
the
never seen anything like that.
Well, I'm on that side.
I were right behind posts.
You're right. I was shouting, it's going to hit bar. I was shouting, I've got to play, it's going to hit bar. To be fair, I think it was Frawley who kicked it.
It was
a beauty kick.
Frawley
It came right down on try line and then bounced back up.
And
Frawley's kicking was amazing.
He had a great game, which we'll come to. And Broadbent, any fullback in that kick, they don't have a clue what to do.
No.
You can't read it. You're looking up. You're going, is it going to bar? Am I going to run into post?
It was a pinball machine, wasn't it? It were down, up.
It bounced off the floor, hit the bar, and then it landed in. I forgot who it was. I think it was Tyrone May. He just literally took it out of his hand and touched it down. But
unbelievable.
But unlike Miller though, because where I stand there every game when he warms up, he jumps up and touches a crossbar. To say he's only small, he
manages to get up.
Yeah, he literally he jumps and he's a long way off the ground and touches crossbar where he could literally hang off it. So he's conscious of that. So I think that's why he jumps, because he's so good at jumping. But just catch the ball, lock it. That's all I need to do.
I think the jumping thing as well is that you get a bit more protection, don't you?
Yeah, because if somebody touches you in air, it's a guaranteed penalty in it. But they've got to be near Rhys first. 20 metres away.
40 metres away. He jumps and knocks it on. Just catch the ball, Rocky. But it's classic, like you said earlier. He's blowing hot and cold. We get the moments with him where we love him. He makes a break, and it's just he's new to the game. It's going to happen. But
it's a steep learning curve.
It is, and if we just stick with him, he was awful yesterday, which he was. He absolutely was. But it happens, and I'm absolutely adamant that there's a player in there. He's new to the game, which I think often gets forgotten. Sorry, it should be remembered. Just a shout out to Jack Broadbent for the assist for the Rhys Martin try in the first down. That was a proper full-back play. Saw Martin there, didn't he?
Just give him it.
Great jump. But then utilised his knees, knowing that Martin were going to come through. Little knee through, and Martin's in for the try. And
they weren't really great tries, thinking about it on reflection, but they were both. I'm going to talk about Frawley later, but both great kicks, and Broadbent just struggled with both of them, didn't he? On the kicking, Mikey Lewis, I've never seen the ball go so high in my life.
Really?
He don't have to get under ball, doesn't he?
Every single time, consistently.
Yeah.
Right out there, like, Jesus
Christ. You know what really frustrated me watching him was just how much time we gave him. Because we know what he's like. I mean, I think the last try, not the breakaway Jez Litton try or whichever one, the one before from Michael Lewis's kick, he got ball last tackle left hand side just in front of South Stand, and he put ball up and it come down with snow in it, but we just stood back and admired him and just let him run 5, 6, 7 metres.
If he'd touched him, he'd been rolling around on the floor.
But even just a little bit of pressure, and if we knew, we just stood back and let him just kick us to death.
Yeah.
I really wanted someone to take his head off yesterday. Statman Rhys?
Yeah,
Stats corner?
I also enjoyed last week, by the way, how you said you're just not going to do the stats because I'm not here and you'd get them wrong. Because I'm an honest man. Because you got them wrong the other week and I might text you, Eddie.
Did your best, mate, didn't you? Did your best.
Did his best. He only had to read off the tweet and he got it wrong. Anyway, so possession was 49%, completed sets 28%, set completion 84%, plays in the opposition 20 metres 22, carries 195, metres 1,259, average carry 6.5, post contact metres 504, tackle bust 35, missed tackles 30, errors 13 again, and penalties only 2.
Really?
Yeah, that doesn't include 6 against. It doesn't repeat sets.
Just penalties.
But just outright penalties, just 2. So when I always try to look at how they compare across the rest of the season.
Oh God!
To see like where we are, and to be honest with you, it was really boring to do that, because it was like bang smack in the middle of the park. Like every stat we got,
every single one,
almost just bang smack in the middle of the park.
So we didn't excel at anything.
Nothing really. I mean, obviously the errors 13. It's above average. It's kind of box standard now, which is really annoying. But yeah, nearly every other stat was about lower half or was just in the middle. So there's nothing really of note that really stood out for me. So instead, I thought I'd try to compare it to what KR. in terms of the game, and it was quite close on paper. They only had 5 less carries than us and 11 extra metres.
All right.
They had 4 more plays in the opposition 20 metres. They made 5 less tackle busts, which means they missed 5 more. And they had 3 less errors. So there was quite a few stats that showed the game was quite close, and there was a bit of a contest.
In terms of them stats, it's probably like a true reflection on where we are, isn't it? Really, you know what I mean? If we're just in the middle, mediocre, and we're not excelling in anything, that's why we are where we are.
So I'll chew on that because I thought, since there's nothing interesting about our stats, I'll go and look at our average for the season, and literally our stats just balance each other out. It's like we're at home in 7th place in the table. We're on our own. We're quite
exactly where we need to be.
We're just quite comfortable in the comfy seat.
Yes.
As Jake, was it not Jake? It's not Jake Humphrey, is it? I can't remember. But yeah, we score 17.8 points a game and we concede 18.7, so a difference of 0.8. We score 3.1 tries a game and we concede 3.2 tries a game. Meters, we're
a very friendly side.
Meters,
we score, you score. Come on.
Do apologise for scoring there.
Meters, we make 1,265.2 a game, and we concede 1,267.3. So literally a difference of 2 meters. And tackle bust 36.
We are way too friendly.
Tackle bust 36.4 per game, and missed tackles 34.1. So we're just
wiping each other out, aren't we?
sitting in the middle of the table.
Thank you so much for having us, honestly. It's been a pleasure. No, really. Come on down to Headley.
Yeah, so that's the team stats. Anyway, on to the carries. Miller was topping with the carries with 23, Smith with 21, and Newman, Hanley and Croft all with 18. That was a season best for Newman. Meters, there were 4 players that went over 100 metres. I'm going to throw it to you guys and let's do a guessing game again, make it interesting. Newman
170,
was the top.
Miller.
She did read my tweet. Newman was the top, 171. That's a season best for Newman. Miller was second with 149. 2 more players.
Momorowski.
Nope.
Ash
Hanley, 122, and 1 more. He got more than him, and it was a season high for him as well.
I'm looking at Phil.
I'm just trying to think who I saw run quite a lot yesterday.
No, Cam Smith, 132 metres.
What did you say that's his highest?
That's his season highest so far. So there was no props making over 100, unfortunately. Oledsky again was closest with 84. That's only the 5th time this season he hasn't made over 100. I know
it's not good enough, Mick.
I know SA only got
needs to up his game.
SA only got 17 metres. I do know that. From there. Tackle busts, Miller had a equal season best of 14. Momorowski 4.
No, carry on, sorry.
Momorowski 4.
Sorry. You're in your
Oledsky and Martin. Oh, hang on. You've just thrown me off my flow now. Oledsky and Smith with 3 each. Tackles, Ackers 52. Oledsky.
I don't recall Andy topping.
He's had more than that before. He's had 60 odd before in 1 game this year.
I don't recall that. Sorry.
It's because we try to forget what's happened previously this season.
Trying to forget this game.
Erased from the memory.
Oledsky season best with 50 tackles.
Wow.
O'Connor 48 and Smith and Dono with 46. The missed tackles, Oledsky and Martin with 5 apiece, Smith and Croft with 4 apiece, and O'Connor with 3. And then the errors, Miller had 4. Which is the joint worst by a Rhino this year. He joins Harry Newman with 4. Newman didn't get 4 this game, he got 4 in the previous game. Fussy 2 got 3, and Martin and Croft with 2 each.
The stats, I don't want to keep going on about Miller, but he got 149 metres and how many?
14 tackle busts and 23 carries.
And he scored a try, and yet we're saying
we got beat and blaming him for defeat.
And 4 errors. So that is absolutely hot and cold, right? That is.
It just shows you how clinical you need to be, doesn't it? If you cut the mirrors out, they're game winners out there.
Yeah, that's, game winners. That is man of the match. That is. I can't believe those stats off the back of us bagging him.
I mean, he averages 137 metres per game.
Yeah.
But fullbacks do tend to.
They've got a lot of running space out there from kick returns and stuff.
They're getting the returns and
they're chewing up meters.
But he does take carries himself, doesn't he? As well. But yeah, it's. That's why we always say stats tell half the story. But within those stats, you've got the 4 errors.
Just cut the errors out. That's all he needs to do.
Yeah.
What did you make of our pack yesterday, Phil?
What?
I thought it looked better. I thought it looked better with Andy Ackers back at half-back. I thought distribution was better. You could see what he must have been trying to do, because he would try to play a little bit wider, and he had that good wide pass on him. It was warm yesterday for big lads in the middle, wasn't it, I suppose, as well.
For big lads in the stand as well.
Yeah, sweating just doing now. But yeah, I don't know. As Pax is packing it, we've got what we've got. Dono came back, we spoke about it before. You know what you're going to get with him. At least he does put some effort in. SA Junior's stats aren't good enough. Either in terms of stats alone, I
thought he played all right,
He just doesn't look fit. And I know that's hard to say.
That, but then he were chasing down one of the kicks and he was first man there. I thought in defence, I thought he was excellent.
He does put himself about a bit in defence, but you need more facets to your game, don't you? You can't just do that and then let everybody else come in and do all work.
We need to see a little bit.
I think what it says to me about Sam Essie is he can't get in that wing side, can't play, and he comes to us and he starts.
Yeah, says everything.
It says everything about us.
I'm more concerned about. We've seen Sam for 3 games, 4 games.
4 games now.
4 games. Are we seeing more to keep little Tom out the side? Because I don't think I am.
I'd like to see Brad Arthur just mix it up a bit and give them players, like little Tom, just to go, put them in.
Give them 4 games, because I don't think any Leeds fan would be gutted if he did drop.
No.
SA.
Goodman injured last week, because he just dropped in.
He got injured.
He did get injured.
I was just grimacing because I'm just looking at SA stats and it's not great.
No.
So in total for Leeds, he's done 17 carries for 88 metres over 4 games. Now,
what did Mick just get? 84.
Yeah.
I mean,
you can't compare anyone to
it was
Mick.
a London game where Mick there was 5 props playing, or 4.5 going on, and Mick got more than the others together in one go.
He's genuinely carrying the pack and has done for many
like
years.
I said, with SA Junior though, we just want him to defend and take ball forward.
Yeah,
that's all we want you to do.
Yeah,
just defend and take the ball forward. No more, no less. And let the backs and Croft and everybody else and play off at back of them.
And let them do their job.
What
did you make of Sam Lasoni when he came on, Rhys?
It wasn't quite the impact we saw against Warrington. I thought he had a really good impact against Warrington.
Yeah,
I think he couldn't get himself into the game yesterday. I felt I could see there was effort. I felt really sorry for him. There was one. I think he'd just come on, and I can't remember who had the ball, but he made like a gut-busting about 20 metre run ready to take his carry, and he never got the pass. And I thought, he's going to.
That's him out of game for 10 minutes.
Should have let him run on to that.
Poor lad, he's put all that effort in running and get the ball.
Sam should be saying to him, look, if I'm running, I want the ball.
If I'm skinning me screaming,
we can see we've known that when he gets a run up and he runs as hard as he can and as quick as he can, he can take the contact in well. I think he bossed someone off. I think he tried to get in the game, but he just couldn't. For some whatever reason, he struggled to get his hands on a ball.
Do you think it just epitomises everything in general, though? I mean, it's just inconsistency across the board, isn't it? It's like you said, you can't get into a game, or one week one player's red hot and then the freezing cold week after. We need to try and bridge that gap, don't we, and just aim for that level of consistency of performance across 1 to 13. And I know it's easier said than done. We're doing it in terms of stats, but when we look at where we want to be, and we can all see it, but I just like I said, for professional rugby players to 1 week to be so good and then be inconsistent week after, they've got to try and bridge that gap. You look around all other Super League teams, a lot of them are trying playing a consistent level of rugby, and we just don't seem to do that. And coaching staff, what we've had, or the players we've got, the coaches can't seem to get it out of the players, and the players can't seem to replicate it week in, week out on pitch.
Good luck, Farmer Arthur. Someone that has been a massive positive, not just in this game but in the London game as well, is Matt Froley. We kind of briefly touched on his kicking game, Rhys. We mentioned his 2 kicks for the 2 tries. It makes the decision to play Jack at Warrington, because Froley got man of the match at Warrington, is London. In line for the London side.
For us, he did it.
And then got dropped for the Warrington game. It makes that decision to to drop him for the Warrington game even more balmy, because he played really well against London and he's played really well
it was
yesterday.
it was the wrong way around. He really
Absolutely.
Jack should have been playing London, but regardless of that, it was unfair. I thought it was unfair for Frawley to get dropped after London.
Massively.
But I thought he was the better player on the pitch. He was playing more of a six than Croft was that game. Obviously didn't play against Warrington, and unfortunately Jack got a bit exposed from a defensive angle because he got targeted. And then yesterday, Frawley, his kicking was absolutely on point for the most part. And his one little go at 40-20, but at least I liked the fact he went for it. He wasn't far off.
For it,
but his kicks on last tackle were absolutely bang on yesterday, and as a result we got 2 tries.
2 tries.
And he was probably one of the closest to make a clean break. There was a couple of times where he's got really slow dummy, and I've said this a couple of times.
You can see it. You can see it a mile away,
but you can't do anything about it.
No.
It's like, oh my god, they're going to dummy.
It's like we were sat each other at Lee, weren't we? When he made the dummy, he was going when he went through right in front of us. He was like, he's not scored yet. How has he not scored? But
we were cheering before he put the ball down. You could just see it was just so slow, wasn't it?
But but he felt like weirdly, and I found myself saying this after the start of the season, if you felt a break was going to come from somewhere, you felt like Frawley was one of the players that was going to produce it, because either from his kicking or because he was taking the line and he was making half breaks, and if someone had just been there on the shoulder.
Do you think other defenders stand off him because I know he's so slow? It's only Frawley. If we get through anyway,
someone will bring him down. A prop will bring him down.
I mean, he got 140 metres against London.
Yeah,
and he was 82 metres for 16 yesterday. So again, didn't miss a tackle, 10 tackles, 2 attacking kicks, and then I can't remember how many, 7 in general play. But yeah, I thought he was brilliant. He's got some stick this year.
He has.
Sometimes undeservedly, sometimes slightly deserved. But I think yesterday, I don't think anyone could have watched that game and not said that he was probably one of the better players, if not the best on the pitch for Leeds.
And that's back-to-back consistent games from him now. Like Rhys said, full credit to Matt, because he has had a lot of stick this year, but he's playing really well.
Since he signed for us, he's had stick.
He's
he's been on the back foot ever since he signed.
That goes back to his Huddersfield days, doesn't it?
It does.
When he were there, we knew what we were getting, but yesterday, I agree with you guys. Yesterday, I thought our best player on the park, and like you said, his kicking options are really good. He made a couple of half breaks, his distribution were good, and if you hadn't have been for them kicks and getting into them right positions, we probably wouldn't have scored yesterday.
No.
It was hard to see where our tries were coming from, so to have that option available and for him to execute it as he should be doing, I thought he did well yesterday.
Yeah, he did. Do you think we saw a different Leeds Rhinos yesterday? And I know it's very, very early days for Farmer and Arthur, but did you think he's already implemented anything? Did you see anything different in a positive manner at all, Rhys?
I'm just thinking about the Arthur Kids TV show now. That's what we were singing before we came on air. That's why we were laughing. I can't remember the name of the kids in that. First 40 minutes.
DW.
First 40 minutes. DW, that was it, yeah.
That was his
that's Chev, innit?
Sister.
I felt first 40 minutes. I felt we sort of felt
the big
difference.
guy, like the bigger guy, the bigger guy. I'm sure he's called like Melvin or something. That's
really the teacher, isn't it?
Is that
the teacher with the really long?
Someone's definitely called Melvin.
Yeah.
So what you need to do now, you need to look at all Leeds backroom staff and give him a name.
From Arthur.
Comment below if you're watching on YouTube of every Leeds backroom staff from the cartoon show Arthur. Can you even remember what I asked you?
Yeah, you asked if we'd seen a difference, I think.
No, I didn't.
You did.
I asked you to name all the characters in Arthur.
First 40
Do you know
minutes.
what? Who cares? Everybody's bothered about Arthur now. I'll shut up.
Are we good? Okay.
Is there alcohol in there? Is that zero alcohol?
I think it's that 0.5%. It's that 0.5% that sends him leaving. For the first 40 minutes, I thought, yeah. But then the one consistent we've seen that Arthur hasn't managed to change yet is the errors. My worry with, and I said it just before we came on, with Arthur's intensity on the pitch is I'm not sure our players have trained to be that fit. I mean, I know it was sunny and it was hot on Saturday, so I know that slate pace slight difference, and there was a bit of walking back, but that was the same on KR side as well.
Yeah. Conditions.
But I saw a change in a week. He's got a short week now into Huddersfield, so again, there's not a lot of time to change.
Quick
Saturday game,
Thursday.
video Sunday, recovery Sunday, Monday. a couple of team runs Tuesday, Wednesday. It's not a lot of time in reality for him to change things around and turn things around again. So, but you could see the small differences. But I think what you can also see was post-match as well was the difference in response we got, and which was Brad Arthur saying we were close, but close is not good enough.
No.
Whereas previously we've heard, we were in that game or whatever. Whereas he was good to call out that we were good in moments, and we were good in moments. He was good to call out we did have intensity in the right areas. I liked how he liked Dono, didn't he? He did say he liked Dono.
Yeah.
But I like that little quote of we're close, but we're not close enough. And I think that's just a bit of a different edge, a different mentality that in a short week can hopefully drag us into a win. Because I think I walked in really confidently on Saturday.
I was doing, yeah.
And I think that's why I was gutted we didn't win, because with 10 minutes to go we were in a winning position. And I did actually turn to my uncle and I said, if they want to prove they're a playoff team, they'll win this.
They'll convert this now to 2 points.
And they didn't.
So we're not a playoff team?
As things stand, we're not, because we're seventh, aren't we?
Seventh heaven.
But I saw a change. I definitely saw a change. In a change that I was hoping to see in a space of a week. I'm not sure hopefully we'll see a similar step next week, but I don't know if you agree, Phil. I definitely saw a change.
So yeah, the first half, it was obviously a game of two halves for Leeds. When we went back to typical Leeds or what we've been used to.
That performance.
In first half, I was happy with what I saw in terms of changes in defence. We've been way too passive in defence, not aggressive enough, and not shutting that space down. You could see him try to do different things in attack. We try to use ball a little bit more. We're a little bit clunky with it. But certainly in defence, and half time I was quite happy going in. I thought if we can come out and maintain that same intensity, we might just get it. But
I agree.
If Fossey Tua goes over,
it's a different game.
I think it's a different game. And I know people are saying I'm going to go at Fossey for dropping it. I think you've got to throw a bit of credit onto Mikey Lewis for getting his arm on it.
He got his arm on it and it just bounced out and hit Fossey's leg, didn't it?
5 minutes for Fossey, because literally went down the other end and Ryan Hall scored.
He should have knocked on.
Ryan Hall's fucking quads, by the way.
He's massive.
Has he got bigger? Jesus Christ!
He's huge. He'll be in pack next year. But
I know, but
put him at prop next year.
I might as well put him at loose. Like what? Didn't that Huddersfield lad do it? It was Leroy Kudjoe went from centre to loose forward as he got older.
Just slows down.
That's when you know your time's up, when you're starting to centre out wing and you're getting named as a proper second row. This game's not for me now.
And I think that's the bit that Arthur needs to work on, is that we fell back into bad ways in that second half.
We didn't seem to have that nous to realise we were doing it and try and switch back out of it or mix it up or revert back to some of what we knew were going to work. And like I said, from where I was stood, and you could see positions that were taking up. We either had a lead runner or a man out back, but even just the timing of that deception, you could see what a really clunky, because the defence didn't
really
commit,
sluggish,
and it were kind of like, where's it going? Do I give? Do I keep? You know what I mean? But they tried to give, and then we got cut out wide, and then we got pushed into touch a couple of times and tried to force it. So the attack still to come, but the defence were, even though we lost in that, the first 40 minutes were a lot better than what we'd seen in previous weeks.
Yeah, I think it's very, very early days, but I do think that given maybe not Huddersfield, because that's another short turnaround, but we will start to see Farmer Arthur get his philosophy across, and it's just going to take time. He doesn't have much time. He doesn't have much time. But I do think he'll get us playing.
He doesn't have much, but I want to, and we need to start seeing it, because if we're going to start having convincing Brad Arthur to stay, the players need to show.
And they've obviously, your mate Blaster has obviously got him in.
Phil,
with a brief, and
stop it.
With a brief to say, look, you've got 11 weeks to he's had. Last week he watched. I know this is like his first week, so they're ticking down. So he'll have things he wants to achieve within that space. Of that 9 week,
there's some of those players
period,
as well. We were saying this last year, probably saying it year before. Oh no, we went in grand final. Are playing for their careers. They are. There'll be some players there that Blaster will be looking at them to say, you've got this period now under Farmer and Arthur to show us your form and to utilise it.
Transition 4.0.
It's a fresh start in it for all the players, basically, and they're playing again for shirts, careers, and the future.
Yeah, and this is me putting two and two together, but Blaster comes across to me as someone that just knows what he wants, and just and if you're not playing to the standard, he's mentioned it on more than one occasion as Blaster about who we are, our philosophy. where we should be. And if he looks at these players, whether they're under contract or not, I think this off-season is going to be... We're going on a tangent, haven't we?
We've got to know where our standard is, haven't we? We've lost our standard from what we've
We're
been
starting
used
to sell all the squad. We're starting to sell that Duncan.
But, you know, where...
Not the only one.
Yeah.
I think Laurie put a tweet about who would you compete keep, and some people are like, none of them.
Ruthless. But yeah, it's where we're setting our standards in it, because it's like a big reset again in it, like you said.
Yeah, it is. But I just think, I just want to see more that change keep going, because if we start winning games and we get into the playoffs and we start doing well in that, Brad Arthur might go, I quite like it here. And we get another 2 years out of him, which is ideally what I want.
Because if not, in a few weeks' time or a couple of months' time, we're going through the same process again, aren't we?
Same process again.
Yeah.
Paul Momirovski, 2 attempts on Mikey Lewis for his try. I thought that was incredibly...
He was out infused and out muscled
by a little 12-year-old boy.
Yeah.
He ought to be embarrassed.
It was. I mean, he missed the first, and he had an opportunity again. I am.
It's even worse, didn't it, when he missed again?
Yeah, he was.
Watching it back, I thought, oh god.
I am adamant that this centre switch around is just not working, and I don't get it.
No, I don't.
I don't understand why Newman
We had a
Momirovski have come
combination,
round.
didn't we, with Molly and Ash?
Yeah. I thought
We're starting to understand each other.
they were starting to play well. I mean, in fact, they hit off quite quickly.
Yeah, straight away.
And
from the off.
And Newman just doesn't seem quite right stepping off that right hand side. And I'm not using this as an excuse for that tackle, because it was pathetic from Momirovski. There's no other words for it.
Tackles, plural.
Tackles, sorry, yeah. Like, there's no way he should have been out muscled in that situation. But I do think Momirovski's form is linked to the switch around in centres, which I don't really understand still. And I was hoping Arthur would have changed it back, but there's obviously a reason for it, and I'm not sure why. But yeah, Momirovski's having a tough time, isn't he?
Yeah.
I think the fans haven't quite bought into him yet. Arguably, has he shown them enough? And we always said that he wouldn't score loads, but he'd assist loads. But we haven't quite seen it either. And again, I think it's because he's moved him off from Handley.
Switching back to Ash.
Put him back. Let's say mix it up. Throw him back up the way. See what works. See what works.
Yeah.
Throw him back out there.
That opposite side might be just unnatural to him. And I know, like I said, there was no excuse for missing them tackles yesterday. He should be a bit defending that situation. But, maybe he's just not enjoying being on that other side. He had started to get a good partnership up with Ash, hadn't he, when he first come?
It's just balmy to switch him.
Again, if it's working, don't change it.
We were switching it because of injury, weren't we? Then it's just not really switched back, and I just don't.
But it should have gone back as soon as someone back.
And again, we've upset that side, and then opposite side, you've got Newman and Ash, and they're not used to working together. Newman always likes to cut back inside with ball, etc. Then Ash ain't getting his service, and then he comes in to do more work, etc. and stuff. So
they have a right go at each other, to Harry and Ash on the pitch.
Really?
Yeah, they do.
They're on our side when they're tacked towards the west
end.
Western Terrace, and you can see them if
I don't think Harry Newman likes himself some days.
They were targeting him yesterday as well. They were every time in a tackle, Tyrone May was having a words with him,
being stuck
on the
into
ground
him
and stuff, and But yeah, no, I feel sorry for Momirovski, because I do like him, but sometimes it's hard to defend.
It's hard to defend him when he defends like that.
Yeah, you can't. There's no excuse for it, isn't he?
Absolutely,
he just put his hand up, and it's his mistake, innit?
Something else that was absolutely appalling was Brodie Croft at the play of the ball.
Yeah, so that's not Momirovski's fault, by the way.
It isn't.
Like, I've seen people blame him for that. It's not.
He's got up and played balls.
Got up, ball, quick ball, and Croft. Of all the players, you think who wouldn't do it?
He was looking aside.
What's happening? Leave a comment below. What was Brodie Croft looking at? It was like towards the north stand.
Yeah.
What's
the game was still in reach at that point. We're 4 points down.
Something has really caught his eye.
Might have been his agent.
His agent with it. Like, it's Brisbane. Got Brisbane on the phone. Caught his eye so much that he completely forgot he was playing rugby league.
Yeah, and the whole South Stand was going, it's there, like a pantomime.
Yeah.
It's like it's behind you.
Again, it's just one of them mistakes which is compounded. It shouldn't be happening, should it?
You can't believe what you're seeing.
What did you say to your kids at that point?
I was just like,
come on, we're going.
I'll just like,
People did start walking
I know.
out when that.
yeah, they were done there.
Get your rucksack.
The whole ground empty. Well, everyone was just like, what are we seeing? It's something that amateur players will be lambasted for. It's something that you teach kids.
And that's what I'm saying.
When you teach kids, you're right, you've got to run now.
When
You've
you
got to...
look at the games we've lost, have been compounded just by basic errors. And that's how rugby league is. It is basic stuff, isn't it?
It's like Rhys just said, Brodie Croft.
I know.
You just want. What have we done to it?
He won on the race. Well, it's Leeds, isn't it? We can make good players average when they come. That's what we've noted for, isn't it?
I could not believe what I witnessed. It just absolutely highlighted
The second half, I think.
the second half and this Rhino side. I bet Brad Arthur saw that and thought, right,
I'm not taking him to Perth.
I'm not taking him to Perth. The first thing you thought.
He's off my list.
And I bet Farmer Arthur thought he'd seen everything. Then he's come over here and that's his first quote-unquote Super League game and he's got star half-back, marquee man, at the play of the ball looking at some, God knows what, over in at far side
It is
of the field.
something you just think you wouldn't see at that level, isn't it? Really.
At that, it's amateur level stuff.
It's criminal.
And then you've got your star player. It was criminal.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know what? He's not even got a battering for it online. I don't like.
He's got away with it.
If Frawley had done that, I mean,
that'd have been it.
That's only because Lockie Miller did a few more mistakes. That's all it
Miller
is.
got three,
Miller
but
took
four
the
errors.
Yeah.
four, yeah. And
He's took the
three of
heat.
them. Like sometimes the errors don't actually come out on the stats, but out of those four, you
They've
can
come
clearly
out
know
and
where
they've
three of them
cost
are.
us quite badly
Yeah.
in terms of
Significant, but
points.
I could not believe what I was seeing. Shall we do the player rating?
Yes, we shall. And they are
Excuse me.
average, really. To be fair, well, not all of them. They'll start with Lucky. 3.9. You're going to ask me, is that his worst of the season? No, it's not.
No, it isn't.
It's his third worst
of the season.
He got 2.4 in round 11 and 3.1 in round 12.
What did he get? 3.9.
Actually, it's his fourth worst because he got 3.5 in round 14. Yeah, 3.9. It was the lowest score.
I had him a 4. I put him down as a 4. I know he did quite a lot of work, but they're just the mistakes.
I think I gave him a 4. Yeah.
4 I did, yeah. So
too low.
we can't lose. Oh, too low, yeah. Fussy, 5.
No, average.
I think that would have been higher because he caught everything that came his way except the one that bloody mattered toward the end.
And then blew the try.
And he blew the try, so that could have easily been a 7 for him if things had gone.
It's as you said earlier. If he'd have scored the try,
yeah.
is it a win? You know, it'd probably in life a man of match.
Yeah. Newman 5.4. When you look at his stats, I think that's a bit harsh, but
Yeah, I thought it was slightly better than that.
Momorovsky 4.4.
I
don't think he did, like I said,
I'd have said a
besides...
bit lower.
Yeah.
Just for the attempt on Lewis. Attempts. Plural attempts.
That's his second lowest. His lowest was in a Challenge Cup against St Helens at
Against
4.3. Ash 5.8. Brodie 5.2.
Way too high. 1.
He didn't do a lot of this.
It's not, the error was unforgivable for me. No, I will forgive him, but for this game it was unforgivable.
Matt Frawley 6.9. Not his highest, I should say. I think he should be higher than that. His highest is round 15, which is the league game, where everyone was sort of obviously got very good scores for good reason.
We gave everyone a 10 officially, but we gave everyone a 10
official ones. But yeah, 6.9 to me, he was close to an 8. I thought.
I think I did give him an 8.
I think I did. Yeah. Mick 6.4.
He was better than that.
Yeah,
way better than that.
Aka's
It's Kelly in the pack.
Rhys Martin 6.4. Cameron Smith 4.6.
You said it's too low.
Last week was 3 the lowest he's had, and you said it was. It's not. His lowest he got was 2.6 in round 14.
the Castleford game.
No, we must have lost. It was Rowan's last game.
Who were that?
Hull.
What it?
When we lost to Hull.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just nodding along.
Jared 5.9. Sam Lasserni 5. McDonnell 5.9. I actually thought McDonnell was
had a good game until he went off injured.
He were better than a 5.9.
Yeah, he got injured. He only played 20 minutes. If it had been,
he looked in a lot of pain when he went off.
Yeah, if he'd have played the whole game at that level, he'd have been up there.
Up at 7.
And Dono 5.8 from there, and Sam Essay 6.2.
Way too high.
Wowzers.
I'm not quite sure what you guys are watching at times.
Got 6.4.
Really?
Yeah.
That's higher than I expected.
it has made the average score for the season really, really interesting because it's now a 4. There's 0.1 difference between 4 players. So Ash and Brody are on 6.4, and Aletsky and Rhys are on 6.3. So it's a really good average contest.
For the
average score
player of the
contest
season.
for
There's
average
a
scores.
theme though, isn't there? Just that average across the board. Yeah, no one's like.
Yeah. So the top 3 players are on that one. So it's Frawley, Aletsky, Martin as the top 3 players in the ratings.
So from the player ratings from our listeners, Phil, it's Matt Frawley, but who is your Fast Signs player of the match, Phil?
Matt Frawley.
Yeah.
Again, we spoke around the previous weeks where he got dropped and shouldn't have been dropped and vice versa. His answers, his critics, hasn't he? He's come back and had 2 man of the match performances.
He'll be dropped on Thursday.
He'll be dropped on Thursday for Huddersfield. But yeah, I thought, yesterday, when we touched on his distribution, his kicking, I thought he played well yesterday. He plays what stood out, so he'd be my vote for the man of the match.
Fast Signs player of the match, Statman Rees.
One of the easiest choices we've had this year, Frawley. Great kicking. Only person that was really seemed to take it on the line. Looked like he were making half breaks, had a chance of, would look like the only one who would do it. Yeah, it wasn't an elite performance, but on a game, he was on the Rhinos pitch, he was the best player.
Yeah,
easily.
I agree. Fast Signs player of the match, Matt Frawley. Keep up the good work, Matt.
That's 2 appearances in a row for him that he's got the lot pod player of the match.
It could be in for the hat trick.
It could be in for a hat
Who
trick.
do we play after Huddersfield?
Has it ever been done before?
No, Salford, I think.
Is it?
I don't know.
Because he'll be dropped.
I've kind of stopped looking at the calendar now.
I look at the table all year.
It doesn't matter, does it?
I was surprised when they said yesterday with the... What's the announcer guy called? Pete Noel. When they said Hull KR were 3rd, I was like, oh wow, really?
Yeah.
I've never looked at the table. Oh yeah.
It gets to Thursday and I go, oh, we're not playing this weekend. Oh, this is when we're playing this weekend and this is when we're playing. Or normally comes up to the weekly roundup, actually. That's normally when it comes up.
That's usually.
Oh yeah, I've got to prepare for this.
I'll have to do a weekly roundup. Congratulations, Matt. You are the Fast Size player of the match. Anything else before I wrap this up, gentlemen?
No, not really.
No, we are done. Well, we'll be back with a midweek roundup looking ahead to that Huddersfield game. Please do subscribe to us on YouTube if you don't already. Hit that subscribe button as we crawl our way to 1,000 subscribers. Also, rate us 5-star on Spotify if you are listening on Spotify, or leave us a review on iTunes. It just really boosts us up those podcast charts more than you can know. And if you enjoy what me, producer Chris, Statman Rees, Phil and all of our regulars do, please also consider subscribing to our Patreon page. All of our content will always remain free. It's never ever going to be behind a paywall. The Patreon page is just there if you want to chuck us £1, £3, £5, much as you like, into a bucket so it can go towards the studio, to our equipment and to help the podcast progress further forward. Thanks for watching. Thanks to Statman Rees. Thanks to Phil. And we'll see you all for the midweek roundup. Take care.